Hello, old guy in shed. MV, taking shape. Got the forks on, as you can see. Shiny fork legs, discussed last time. Fork legs, I'm starting to have a love-hate relationship with fork legs at the minute. One went on beautifully, so put it in, screw in the bottom. The other one, it's like the motorcycling gods hate me. Decided that the little screw just wouldn't start. So I took the leg off, check it in the set, fine. Take it off, put the leg back on. No. Seemed to have taken an age, but it didn't really, it's just me exaggerating again. But nonetheless, bloody nuisance. On now, wonderful, very pleased. Started to do bits on the engine, started to tidy up the case. Not quite where I want it just yet, but it is slowly getting there. Now, on the downside of the day, I have been doing one of my most hateful things. One of the things I detest in my life is DIY. She's had me the HPO. That's, for those of you who don't know, HPO is the Happiness Prevention Officer. Some people would call them upper management, but no, that's... Anyway, she said we got to paint the shed. So I said okay, shed. So she had me go out and buy a sprayer, pumpy spray for wood treatment of the shed. Sorry, it's not a shed, it's our summer house. And we had it built too close to the next door neighbour's walls, so we can't get at it with a brush, so she bought a sprayer. It works great. Getting it to work great involved working with the HPO, not so great. Put a paint in, just pumping it like, holding the trigger, you can see it coming up the pipe. But I said, it's too thick. I've painted a few things in my time, and I've sprayed a few things in my time, and I know heavy, sticky paint just doesn't spray. So we read about it, and I said, says here that you're supposed to use the sprayable paint. You've got the brushable paint, and we've got it in the sprayer. So I have another read and discovered it's water-based. Thin it with water. Brilliant, got it right. And she said, oh, there's too much water in that, it's not going on right. I said, no, I said, it's still not spraying, there's not enough water in it. So we have what you and I would call a discussion. What most people would describe as an argument. We got it done. More water, got it sprayed, brilliant, did the job. So, I then come in to my shed and I do a little bit of work on my bike. I say, fork legs on, and I'm left with all of this, which next to painting the shed is an equal. I hate this as much as I hate DIY, and that's wiring. I'm going to have to enlist the help of a chap. He helped me take it apart. I'm waiting for the stator to come back from being rewired because all the wiring had gone. So we're sort of en route to hell as far as that's concerned. But we'll get through it. We're going to have to. Well, I'll have to. I want lights and shit like that, and you know, be able to ride it and things like that. You know, so it's a job I'm not looking forward to, but I will do it. But she's coming on. She's gone. I'm reasonably pleased with the way like the engine bits are turning out. I've just popped the carburetors on for fit. They're coming off again for cleaning. You know, cleaned all the manifoldy bits and the fins and I've done a bit on the casings, as you can possibly see. I've done the fork legs, as you know. I've painted the frame, as you can tell. I'm not overly keen on the frame paint, but it's what it is now, and I'm not changing. The tank is beautiful, as I showed you in a previous episode. Which is great. It's all good. But in amongst all this wonderful achievement and excitement and good stuff, the illness has struck me again. And I show you what I mean by the illness. This illness is the illness of seeing something and going, oh, I like that. And so here we have, what have I done? What have I done? I bought another bike. This is a V7. A V7. I don't know what I'm going to do. It is not my usual purchase. It is a little bit modern for me, but it was languishing. Languishing? Is that the right word? It was rotting in the shed. Pal of mine had it, and he'd stored it carefully outdoors for a while, and all the tank was black with crud. There was rust, and there was just generally just sad to look at. So I brought it home, and I spent 2 days, literally 2 days, cleaning every crevice I could find. These aftermarket mirrors have got all these whitey bits on. Now, he assures me he's got the original ones, which I think I'll probably fit. It's got what they call a tail tidy on it, which he assures me he's got the rear mudguard, so I will be refitting it to standard and having looking at it as a standard bike. Lord knows what I'm going to do with it. I really don't know. I might run it. I might try and get my wife to ride it, because years ago she used to ride bikes with us. She says she's not interested anymore, which I find a bit sad, because this would be the perfect bike for somebody to return to, you know, to riding, having had a long break, because it's good looking, it's docile enough but feisty enough at the same time. It's a typical Guzzi in, you know, its shapes of it. It's got personality. Yeah, it's a lovely thing, and I felt a little bit like one of these people that sees a bird with a broken bloody wing or something and takes it to the vet, and I saved it from itself, sort of thing, or from the ravages of time and neglect. And I know it's silly, but I do feel that I do with all my bikes. I kind of clean them a fair bit, and I like them to look clean. I don't care if they're not perfect. I don't get me wrong. I'm not a, ooh, you've got the wrong bolt in there. No, I'm not into that. But I like them clean, serviceable, usable. What I've got here. So, in conclusion, I'm just going to take a seat for a minute. The whole point of owning, well, I've now got 7 bikes, oh, for God's sake. It is addictive. Buying these bloody machines is addictive. So I've got the bikes. I'd like them to be all serviceable. They all are. Every one of my bikes, with the exception of the MV which I'm building, I can jump on and ride. One of them is not on the road because I've not done the MOT thing and what have you, but I want to redo that. So it's no fault of its own. It's a runner, but I'm not happy with the way it looks. The little 2.5 Marini, my absolute go-to commuter at the moment. My 500 Falcone is when I just want to put a smile on my own face and have a little tromp around. It's wonderful. I've got the bureaucracy still going on with the 250 Guzzi 2-stroke, hoping that will resolve itself shortly. I've resubmitted all the paperwork, and of course my Norge is ready to rock and roll as always. So out of all of the bikes, other than bureaucracy on one, every one of them's a goer. This runs like a Swiss watch, really does. So very pleased with everything at the minute, except for the fact that my hands permanently smelling of polish and aluminium abrasive cleaner. So I'm spending my life. Yeah. What was it? Oh, the Karachi Kid. Yeah. Wipe on, wipe off. On another note, interestingly, this thing has been sat for a good 18 months, possibly longer, and not even the LEDs would light up. The battery was just so flat. And around here, I'll just go and get it. I purchased a gadget for all of my bikes that I put them on in rotation. It's one of these. There's a handful on the market, and this one happens to be made by Draper. And I thought, yeah, right, because they say, you know, it'll revive completely flat batteries. Yeah, right. But it's got this mode button, and it actually gives you the mode for, this has an AGM battery. Something glass matte, I don't know. But this has AGM written on the battery, has an AGM button on the screen. So I put it on, went to bed basically, and left it over, and I left it for a good, I guess it must have been near 24 hours actually, before I came back to it. Came back, lo and behold, as if by magic, brought the battery back. So yeah, recommended to look after batteries. These modern little tiny widgets kind of work. I'm not a fan of modern technology as a generality, because I always think it's to do with magic and voodoo and stuff like that, but in this instance it works, so I can't really argue. Very impressed with that, very impressed, because normally I'd be going, bin the battery, buy a new battery and just deal with it, you know. Well, no, that worked, that absolutely worked. And you know, like I say, back in the day I would have thrown it, it would have cost me a battery. And this time it didn't. It cost me a bit of patience, which I'm not the most patient man on the planet. But anyway, it worked. It worked. Anyway, so, right. You're up to speed with the MV. You're up to speed with the new purchase. God. Oh well. Hope to talk to you all again soon. And I'll bring you up to date with more stuff that's going on in my shed and my life. I have to be a little bit fair over the summer house shed thing. We do keep one of those big bubbly baths in there, and it is rather nice of an evening to spend time in there with a glass of red wine. And just having a hot soak. It's very pleasant. And when we got this thing, I thought, what the hell have we got this for? But again, stand corrected, it really is a very pleasant thing to do. I will admit we must have, we have to have plastic glasses in there, because slippery surfaces and actual glass don't actually rub along well together. So it is plastic glasses. But to be honest, a small sacrifice really. And on that subject, it's time for me to go for my glass of red wine. So press the like and subscribe, the bell thing for, is it notifications, the bell? Yeah, I think it is. And to share it around, share it about. Anybody out there with a V7, please comment. I'd like to know, you know, if anybody's owned one and what they think of it, whether they like it, hate it, love it, you know, what to look out for. And I'll look forward to hearing from you guys. All the best. I'll go in the shed, say no. Bye for now.